So much love and appreciation to those of you who have been with me for the 2 year period plus that I've been doing this. Thank you for showing your love and support to the channel. And to anybody else who is brand new to the platform and you would like to support the channel, also, you can do it by way of Patreon, Anchor, the clothing store, and also the shoe shop that is listed in the comment description below. And again, thank you to any and all of you guys who have been here to support this channel during the 2+ year period. I wouldn't be able to do what I do every single day without you.
Dirty foot ass hoes. Here, Suki. If you catch me with your nigga, no, I'm a disrespectful bitch. My house in your nub, back at the cut, dog. Eating me out. My perk in the black and mouth. I'm a trifling.
So here we go yet again, right? As I stated to you guys before, I've talked about on my platform the detrimental types of behavior in music that have come by way of Black men in the community. I've touched on that in live streams. I've had actual conversations with elder Black men and Black men of both, back in being in high school and, older. And I've also had conversations, again, directly on this platform within live streams and different things of that nature, right? So I've touched on that topic and that subject before, right? And I've given solutions, right, to that type of music. And I've also showcased the fact of how detrimental it is and what will basically take place if you allow, that type of music to, in a sense, expand and to get to the younger generation, right? So here we have the exact same thing, but it's coming from Black women. And the main thing that I've stated is the fact that you can clearly see the wrong selections all over the place, right? So she's already degrading herself and other women. You obviously can count, the amount of quote unquote Pookie and Ray Rays that are directly in the video. You can clearly see some strollers, directly there as well. The artist herself is also holding a child, not sure if it's hers or not. But one of the main things that I wanted to highlight, right? Because I did a video recently where it was an older Black woman who was a grandmother. And she was telling her 11-year-old Black granddaughter to basically, date out, right? And within that, you had a whole thing dealing with colorism, and self-hatred, right? She was telling her, hey, or maybe her daughter, right? She was telling her, hey, you're on the darker side. It's not safe for you out here, so it's best for you to basically get, a white male counterpart. And then she kept trying to frame the whole discussion as these 40 and 50-year-old men are going after our babies. They're going after our babies, going after our babies. But the quote unquote babies that she's referring to are women who are in their 20s. Those are adults, right? Now, my issue is to compare, right? You have this video here with Black women all about, and you can clearly see a young Black male child that is there. And you have a grown woman that decided that she wanted to start dancing on this child. Am I the only one? Am I the only one that sees an issue or a problem with this? Am I the only one? Because like I said before, if we're going to call out, or if we're going to put out a narrative, right, but you're only going to slap this sticker on like one side of the spectrum, nah, we ain't having that. We're not having it. This right here is a problem. And this is not the first time that I've covered behavior like this, when I've seen Black women sitting up here dancing on these young boys. That's ridiculous. Now, I can already hear some people talking about, but Seiji, but if the Black men are there, if the father are there, da 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 da, that's great and all. That's great that you want to shift 100% of the conversation and the blame there. But what about all of those women that more than likely have children? So if this one Black woman is allowed to basically dance on this child, that means that all the other women that are in proximity also agree with that same behavior, because nobody pulled her to the side and be like, yo, hey, this ain't a good look. This ain't good for us. We shouldn't be doing this. We're doing more harm than good to this young man, right? Substitute him with an older guy. Like I said, there were older guys there. There were Pookie and Ray Rays. There were all types of thug types there. So I'm not sure why it is that that specifically needed to be highlighted and why that needed to be there. But I'm actually thankful that it is there because, like I said before, if I'm going to talk about something, I would actually like to be able to show you what it is that I'm talking about versus what me just talking. Because if I can actually showcase to you an example, a real world example of this taking place, then you have to, in a sense, pay attention to it. Because if you decide yourself that you want to overlook everything that's in this video and you just want to point towards black men, black men, black men, you are the number one top suspect when it comes to the problem and why it is that black women are, going through the things that they're going through. Because like I said before, there are a lot and too many things that black women have control over and that they can decide to just end if they wanted to, aka the behavior like this, which is twerking in public, right? The objectifying, sexualizing, the hypersexualization that they themselves put out of their own image. But then within the same token, in the same frame, they sit up there and say that they have no control. They have no right over their image. The only ones that have had control and rights over their image are black men. Realistically, that's not been the case, because at any point in time that those women showed up in those rap videos, yes, you do have the black male artist there, but at the end of the day, who is in control of all of that whole situation? It's those corporations. So when you have like a Meg Thee Stallion, a Cardi B, right, and so on and so on and so on, and you see all of these women twerking on each other, sitting up there slapping each other's backsides and touching and feeling, who's forcing them to do that? Is it the women themselves doing it, or is that the corporation? Who's in control of those images right there? Is it the women themselves who are participating in those actions, or is it the corporation? Like I said before, somebody got to figure something out, because all of this trying to continuously just put 100% of the blame and just shift that just to the side of black men is ridiculous. Because the moment in time that that's allowed to still continue, you're going to have more and more of this behavior. And who's going to be influenced by this? It's going to be your daughters. It's going to be the young black women sitting up there growing up. Because like I said before, I done seen some girls out here who are very college educated. They are smart, but then they turn around and they want to do stuff like this and dress like this in public. But then they expect a man to respect her for her mind instead of her body. And that's not how that works. Like I keep telling women before, whatever you lead off with first, that's how a man is going to sit up there and address you. So if you come or you show to a man your body first, that's all he's going to respect, and that's what he's going to acknowledge first, second, and third. But if you come to that man with your mind, then, and also lead with that, especially, that's going to weed out, right, a lot of the quote unquote bums, right? Because they're not going to be able to actually hold, certain types of conversation, right? You're going to see exactly what attention span is, right? If their attention span can just be out there in general, where it's like they can fly topic to topic to topic, or if they could just stay on this topic for maybe, a few minutes, and then everything is devolving around, sex and different things of that nature. But like I said before, this is another reason why a lot of women out here can't seem to find a good guy, because they tend to lead with their assets first. So hips, butt, thighs, tight clothing, right? Their chest, right? They'll lead with a lot of those things first versus actually leading with, their mind. So, like I said, I don't know really what else to sit up there and tell black women other than, like, it seems like y'all got it. Because no matter, in a sense, or what images are directly put out here, that I use for an example, we already know who the villain is going to be at the end of the day, right? It's always going to be the black man. Whenever the comment section arises, it's going to be whose fault? The black man's fault. Who can fix this? The black man can fix this. Who's in control of this? The black man's in control of this. Who enabled this type of behavior? Black men enabled this behavior. Like I said, nowhere in there does it hold women accountable for the things that they accept, that they acknowledge, that they, freely, directly put out there, and nor do you hear anything about accountability or responsibility of one's actions. But like I said, it is what it is.